Hey everyone, you're here with Lawrence again. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at how to start and get things done. I've had the privilege of finishing a book, and one of my friends asked me, how do you go about starting and finishing a book? And that's why I decided to take this video. So the first thing that you have to understand about getting something done is you have to know where it is you want to go. Do you want to write a book around change management? Or do you want to write a fictional novel around romance? Do you want to write a thriller novel? Who's your audience going to be? How many words do you want to write? How many chapters? Becoming very clear with where it is you want to be. And this is in any goal-setting situation. You have to understand exactly where you want to be, why you want to be there, with who, how you're going to get there. Be very clear. I think it's Tony Robbins that says, with clarity comes power. So being very, very clear, firstly, it helps you know where you're going and helps you measure if you're getting there. But also, you know when you're off track. So for example, my book was about 60,000 words, and that was the goal that I had. Halfway through the time period, I was only 20,000 words in, so I knew that I wasn't writing enough. It was good feedback for me to know I'm not quite on my way there yet. So clarity is power. Knowing where you want to be and how you're going to get there is very important. The second thing is motivation. The first book that I wrote took about 6 months to write, and it's 6 months of sitting in front of your computer, trying to fight writer's block, wanting to go out when all your friends are going out, but instead deciding to sit at home and just write. It's really tiring. So you have to find motivations for yourself. My biggest motivation was reading other books while I was writing. I was reading fictional novels. I was watching YouTube videos of J.K. Rowling and how she impacts people on such a massive scale with her books. And that for me was motivation. I also joined other writing clubs, and I got writing mentors around me. I got people who could motivate me and keep me on track. Because when you're attempting a goal that's going to take a long time, you need to have that support system in place. You need to be working with the right people. You need people to keep boosting you up. The third thing to look at is you don't always have to overplan or overthink things. Tony Robbins tells the story, and I absolutely love it, of this rather large lady who wanted to lose weight. And she came to Tony Robbins and she came up with this elaborate plan, how she was going to research the best gyms, find the best instructor for her. She was going to change her diet and do all these great things. And she had this elaborate 6-year plan. And Tony Robbins said to her, "Man, with all due respect, you don't need an elaborate plan. All you need is to get into the gym and have a big angry guy in an army uniform standing behind you screaming, 'Run!' You just have to get started." And sometimes we do overanalyze and overthink and try and plan for every case scenario, when just getting started is actually probably going to get you closer to your goal than anything else. There's also a concept in neuroscience where the brain is unable to stop something once it's started. So I'll give you a quick test. If you go to your kitchen and you start doing the dishes, and halfway through stop doing them and walk away, and see how you feel. You feel like unfulfilled and uncompleted. The hardest thing always is starting. Once you've started the dishes, it's almost always that you finish them, isn't it? Have you ever actually stopped doing the dishes? No, because once you start something, the brain is compelled to finish it. It's the same with writing. It's the same with speaking. It's the same with anything you want to do. Getting started is the hardest part. And once you start, the brain will feel compelled to finish. And the last thing, the fourth thing that's really important, is to just keep going. To never quit. I think so many people don't reach the achievement or the level of success that they want because they stop just before they're about to get there, and it's so sad. Now, Colonel Sanders, the person who started the KFC phenomenon, he started with the recipe, and he went from one chicken store to the next trying to sell his recipe. Now, he went and he got more no's than I think any one of us would ever be comfortable getting. He went to 1,000 chicken stores and got no's from every single one of them, but he didn't give up. He knew he had a fantastic recipe, and he kept going. And on his 1,009th attempt, when he knocked on the door, finally somebody said, "Hey, it's not a bad recipe. We'll take it on." It took 1,009 attempts for him to actually break through. And look at how KFC is now. Look at how big it is. One of the biggest food franchises in the world. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, her first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, was rejected by 17 publishers before it was published. And the only reason it was published is because the 18th publisher gave the book to their child, and the child loved it. And the publisher said, "Oh wait, we could probably sell this to kids." And that's the only reason J.K. Rowling was signed up by this publisher. But if she had stopped after the 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th no, where would Harry Potter be? Would it even be the icon that it is today? So So guys, if you've got something great within you, and I know that you do, you've got something that you want to achieve, something that you want to grow or gain or get, there are 4 things you got to do. Is first, get clear. Get extremely clear of where it is you want to go. Oh, you want to learn piano. What song do you want to learn by when? Set a time frame. And then know what the next step is. The next step is to go and research, go get a teacher, go find a YouTube video that can teach you the song and schedule it in your diary. The second thing is keep yourself motivated. It's really hard to stay motivated for a long period of time. So make sure you're watching YouTube videos. Make sure you're listening to audio tapes. Get good friends around you. Join clubs of people with similar interests. Sometimes you don't need to overplan. That's the third thing. And you actually just have to get started. Remember that the brain, once it starts something, it feels compelled to finish it. And lastly, just don't quit. Keep knocking on that door. Keep going from publisher to publisher. Keep going from chicken store to chicken store. Keep on keeping on. And you too can change the game. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found some value in what I said. If you want to further your self-awareness and self-development and go on this journey with me, there are 4 things you can do. The first one is subscribe to my channel. The second one is go check out my Facebook or Twitter accounts. I do daily posts. Maybe that could inspire you. You can go and check out my book on Amazon, Changing the Game, 10 Perspectives to Taking Charge of Your Life. And lastly, go check out my website, www.lawrencebull.com, to go and see my newsletter, other posts, and other things that might be of interest. Hope to see you soon.